Hello everyone. Wow, this is kind of cool. I'm very excited actually. My name's Fee, and I'm one of the, what do I say, this sort of masterminds behind the Set Ready film with Jess and also Seth. And I'm actually, this is the first one I've attended since the very, very first one we did, so it's kind of nice to be invited here to meet you all, and it's really, honestly, it's super awesome to see some new faces, because I've been in Canberra for about 4 years now, and my background's acting and costume design, so, and I've been running my own classes, acting beyond the lens, for the last couple of years now, going out on my own and doing some really intense classes, and getting people to really, you know, challenge and take risks and utilise the skill sets that they already have within themselves and bring that to the surface. That's sort of what my ethos is about. So it's actually super nice to just meet some really fresh faces and see what we can bring out today, because the purpose of this first little session here, guys, is I just wanted to look at it from an actor's perspective, and how does an actor prepare themselves for a scene. Can I get the hands up in the air who are the actual actors today? Yep. Yep. Okay, great. And the directors? Yep. Yep. Kat, you're a director as well, mate?
No.
You're not a director, no? Anyone else directors?
Yeah.
Okay, Seth, yeah, director as well, man. Okay, cool. So Jason, and the DOPs? Yeah. Fantastic. Cool. So yeah, so welcome to Set Ready Film, and that's what it is about, being set ready to film. And one of the biggest processes for that for an actor is, you know, I think a lot of the time actors have this, or up-and-coming training actors sometimes think that it's just you get the script and you go, you know. You do, yes, but there's also a lot of prep work that does need to go into that, and the stronger work ethic that you have as an actor, the better. That would be one of the key elements that I would say just at the top of the list of everything, guys, that strong work ethic. But coming back to the scene, let's just get into the crux of it straight away. I chose this scene because I love, and Kat here is the writer of the scene. So, and it's One Last Time, as it's called. So there's already a kind of setup in the sense of something being the one last time. But is it one last time this time? How many repetitions of this one last time? I'm just going to throw some different ideas out there as well. So the key elements that I loved about this scene, that it just had some really complex characters that you could already bring a lot of yourself into, or if you didn't know that you had within yourself, you could tweak into the work, because we can tap into areas within yourself that you thought, oh, okay, maybe I can substitute that for getting into that side of the character. So that's something that I think is delved back to, like Stanislavski is one of the sort of mentors that I've had in the sense of, not personally obviously, but is one of the sort of methods in the sense of I'm a bit of a fan of the self within the self when you're working on your work, and then the sense of the what if. So what would you do if you're in that situation? So it's not just about empathy. We can all empathise with people, but being an actor, you've got to be active. So the more that you can then see yourself, if you haven't had similar experiences to or witnessed it, those events, what would you do? Like stepping in the shoes of that person. But the thing is really allowing yourself to go there. Like, that is the thing, really putting yourself on the line with that role. I recently watched a documentary, and the writer was talking about either you're a Shakespearean or you're a Chekhovian kind of actor, like Chekhov, all that kind of stuff. I come from a Shakespeare background, and it is all about that real physicality, the embodiment of words, and really a life or death kind of fight or flight, survival, primal need situation. And to me, this script, for the sense of doing a little bit of an actor's workshop, for me personally, I felt that it just hit those ground runs straight away. You know, already you've got someone who is a soldier, he's dependent on alcohol, and he's struggling, he's got PTSD. So you've got a massive spectrum of someone there already at the fingertips of you. Like, it's exciting, obviously, when we do face those fears and flaws within the characters that we play. And not to say that the other scripts weren't just as valued, guys, if I can just say that, because I did read them all. Who did the bear? Who wrote the bear? Who wrote the bear in the script? Has anyone read? There was a bear. There's a psychotic bear. That one was awesome. Anyway, but for the purpose of the acting introduction to today's whole class, today's whole group session, I liked the kind of like really laying it on the line, and you have to just jump in. You have to jump off the diving board, and it's up to you how high that diving board is, of how deep you want to go into that deep script analysis, yeah? And then you've got Mari, how do you pronounce it, Kat? Mari? Like Marianne? Or?
It's actually my mum's middle name.
Your mum's middle name? Yep.
But you could call it Marie if you want, but
yep.
It's not really.
Mari, yep. Cool. So she's already 30 years ex-wife, so you've already got that set up and that relationship going there. Empathetic and soothing in a crisis. So already you've got once again, a lovely spectrum of a character arc for you to play with. And then obviously the scene, it goes straight into an episode, an event straight away. So in saying that, what I'd actually like to do, let's just jump straight into it, guys, in the sense of I just want to get 2 people to read it out first, so we can just be all on the same page, have heard it, and we're all kind of just getting ourselves back into speed with the scene again. So who'd like to volunteer for the 2 characters? Yep, yourself there, babe. So that's Mel. And, okay, cool. So,
Chin.
Yeah, sorry, babe.
Chin.
Jin? Oh, okay.
No, Chin.
Say that again.
That's my nickname, Chin.
Oh, Chin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, mate. Your name's Chin? Okay, cool. Sure, all right. So, we'll stand up, girls. We're just listening to it, so that's all good, yeah. Cool. Actually, just come here, babes. Just come here, mate. Just come here, so we can you're just reading it for the reading's sake, yeah? Just reading it for the reading's sake. Actually, I'll just grab another chair. So what I'm setting up here, guys, is the sense of, say for example, you did get the script, 40 minutes before you want to start. How do we approach it? So let's just read it for reading's sake. But still, in the sense, I still want you to realise, already put the actor's cap on your head, do you know what I mean? So it's dialogue, it's between 2 people. You're being a character, you're being someone, yeah? So already have that fluidity in your voice, and really allow yourself just to deep dive in it, particularly because you know that time is a little bit of the essence. But this sort of approach is always nice because it just allows you to have that first response reaction to a script, yeah, and give over to what you're actually saying at the same time too, yeah? Let's go for it.
So who's being Murray and who's being Derek?
I could be Derek because I was already Derek anyway.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And so we've got the setup. So it's an exterior highway afternoon. Yep. That's all those details are highly important there, guys. So Derek drives along the highway when a minor accident occurs 100 metres from his car. He screeches to a halt and begins to hyperventilate and smash his fists against the steering wheel. He dials his ex-wife mobile number. So many clues in that first little passage there of the type of relationship that these people have had and, maybe are still having. Go for it.
Hello?
Murray.
What's wrong?
Crash ahead of me.
Are you okay, Derek?
I can't breathe.
Are you hurt?
No, but I need scotch. I can't take this.
Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You missed 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Fill your lungs and notice how your chest expands and then release.
So Derek draws a deep breath and holds for a moment before releasing. Her voice calms him. Yep. So there's a lovely beat change there.
Where are you? I'll come get you.
Don't trip me. Just past the entrance. Be quick.
So now we're moving on to exterior highway afternoon later. The car door opens and Mari pops her head in to give Derek a hug.
You're okay. I'm here now.
Thanks. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago, and it nearly took you off the road.
Bitch, I remember.
That language is why our marriage didn't work.
Sorry. I just need a drink. One last time, I promise. That'll be completely out of my system.
No.
Please. You don't understand the pain I'm in. You've got it easy.
I do understand. I've been there for you every time, in the worst of it. When you blacked out,
Derek grips her forearm. Yep. Clenches tight. She's stifles a voice. Sorry, babe. Go for it.
One last time.
let go, Derek. It's okay. I've got the scotch.
He lets go immediately, and his eyes brighten. She backs away, and her eyes search his and then go blank.
Bye, Derek.
The scotch?
She shakes her head, jumps in her car, and drives off. Yeah. Round of applause anyway for Okay guys, so initially when I would say read a script, I would just straight off the top of my head write down on the side of my page things, even if as I was reading it, things that straight away I responded to, that triggered me within reading it. So things within myself that I could relate to. Anything within the actual text that I would respond to. Can someone put their hand up in the sense of any moments within the script that they responded to things like bang, you know? Anyone?
I think
Julia.
Chin said one last time, and the script, but also
Yep.
the desperation,
Yep.
the way you paced it.
Yeah.
And it's almost more, yeah.
And how did that correlate to you personally though, Julia?
I suppose we've all dealt with addicts, all of us at some time in our lives,
Yep.
and had to draw a line,
Yeah.
and had to deal with that moment when I can't do this, we're at that moment, and you have to be the strong person and
Yeah.
not engage,
Yep.
walk away from that level of desperation.
Yeah. No, that's, I think the title of it and that moment where it does come in the script, it's always lovely to find the title within a script sometimes of where it's actually said.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of give it a bit of halo, a little bit around it. It already, once again, sets up the scene for, once again, these three-dimensional characters. So already as an actor, you know you've got a lot to play with within it. Like a really lovely read there. What was you say your name again to me? Chin. Sorry, man. Chin. So that was a really like you. I could see you were trying to get yourself sort of in that moment there. Yeah. What was your process then in doing that for yourself?
Well, I have dealt with addicts in my life, plus I have recently just had, November last year, 2 major panic attacks which floored me at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was coming back to that moment where, the accident happened and my body begins to hyperventilate, and I touched on an experience where my body has done that.
Yeah.
And so I popped myself back into that moment.
Yeah.
And I sort of kind of understand the need for a crutch where Derek is coming from.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I need something to take away all the feelings that are happening in my body.
Yeah.
And that's where Derek came from.
Yeah. So you allowed yourself that inner work for you, as we would call it, like a term we would use, that inner work. You allowed yourself to go there straight away with that, and you understood that dynamics and that sort of arc of his character, and the kind of the callousness as well that he has. You know, as soon as he knew that release was there. You know, and the fact that the thing I wanted to highlight, I love that he used the word crutch, because it's sort of like the ex-wife might be seen as a crutch for Derek, but then there's also something very interesting about the female character. You know, where was she that she was able to pick up the phone so quickly and come to the scene and all this kind of stuff? You know, and then why did she actually have to go and like give him the hug and all this kind of thing? So where was her actual positioning at that particular time? So all these lovely dynamics you could kind of pick up straight away. That was one of the things that I thought was quite interesting. The fact that she, hey Louise, the fact that she was extremely respondent. Do you know what I mean? And she didn't need to go. The scene could have finished with good, fill your lungs and notice how your chest expands and then release. And that could be it. Do you know what I mean? Okay, hon, I've got to go, thank you. You know? But there's some sort of attachment that's going on here. So that's another multi-layer to that's how, what I'm saying here, guys, is that's how I responded to the scene straight away when I did my first read for it. So what I'm saying is don't deny all these lovely little triggers that come into your mind that respond to you at that particular time when you're reading it for the first time, and write it. Sorry, I get excited. Write it down. You've got to write it down. Don't just go, oh yeah. Write it down. Like, have many copies of your script so you can have different moments with your script that you're dealing with. Okay. Any other sort of triggering things within the scene when you were reading it, guys, that sort of came to the forefront? Anything else that springboarded for you?
Yeah.
Either director or actor? Yeah.
I feel like Chin, I have a really strong snake phobia. Like,
Yep.
I can't look at photos of them.
Yep.
So I was at Tinby Miller last week, and they have a nice big warning sign telling you about the black snake, which is very well illustrated with a photograph. And I have a physical reaction to that.
Yeah.
And I was only there because it was winter and I was more likely to be safe. But yeah, so the panic, I have no understanding of I haven't experienced PTSD. I certainly understand the bodily reaction of fear, and I got that with, the opening part of the script.
No, definitely. And that's the thing, when you can tangent, when you can actually substitute, as we would say, substitute that with something else, then go for it. It can be anything. You know, addiction can be anything. Like, obviously, one of the biggest addictions right now is social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is a kind of like crazy one. So it can be anything that you didn't quite think of that you could relate it to. Because you might think, oh, I've never been, an alco or whatever it is. But you can relate it to something else. And if not, you could then, once again, go do some research and sort of see how that dynamics is for someone that is specifically alcoholic. Okay, I'm going to springboard again, guys, just onto another tool as well. So the first one I would say is when I get a script, I read it, and I write down as many responses to that script as I can that can help me springboard into the character as quickly as possible. Just my natural impulses. I don't know, like you could even write down pizza for some bizarre reason. Just for some reason you just think of pizza. I don't know, but that could be something deep-rooted in your own life that it is responding to that particular moment for these two types of characters. Because we're trying to create a person here. And Kat has beautifully, really, and I know Kat as well, so it's kind of like, I know she's got all these lovely histories behind her that she puts into her characters. And I think that's the thing that we've got to not deny when we're writing these characters. I'm primarily an actor, I'm not a script writer, so I'll just put that out there. I love it when I can really flesh out these characters, you know what I mean? And the words that are there can really allow me as an actor to really embody the words. I really respect writers for what they write, and I learned that from training in Shakespeare, so it really made me paint that picture for the person. So moving on from this, guys, I'm going to quickly springboard into a couple of key sort of areas when you're mapping out a script as well. Is one of the biggest things that we're all kind of the buzzwords around at the moment now use a lot is, at the end of the day, I'm going to use the word objective, scene objective, and then I'm going to sort of come back from that. Has most people heard of that word before? Yeah, scene objective, and then in life, we have an objective, something that we're going towards, something that we need, that primal need that we need from someone else. What would you say? What would you umbrella the scene for both characters? How would you say, what would you give an umbrella for the scene in one sentence?
I would say to get a drink, to not let him have a drink.
Yeah.
That would be the main object, I
Yeah.
think.
And how could we flesh that out even more into a lovely kind of, like a statement for the scene?
No, I can take it outside.
Control.
Maybe. Good to go.
Oh, I like that. That's another alternative to it as well. Yeah. you elaborate on that one?
I think control of themselves,
Yeah.
to an extent of each other and the world around them. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to, and usually that's what a lot of anxiety is, being unable to control things around you.
Yeah.
It's because of that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? I'm going to really hold on to that one there. Control. Any other thoughts there, guys? How would you subtitle the scene if you were going to give it a subheading?
Going through a journey.
Say that again, Ben.
Going through a journey.
Going through a journey.
Meaning ups
Yep.
and downs.
Yeah.
They were together.
Yep. Yep.
It's not the end. I think she was
Yeah.
right to
There's something. There's some undertone that they can't quite get. They can't quite leave each other. You know what I mean? The convenience of him having her on speed dial. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this real attachment that they have to each other, and this control that comes from relationships and all that kind of thing. So that already leads into giving it like a scene objective for both. It's like, I need you to give me my control back of myself. I need you to give me my control back. I need you to give me my control back. Actually, that's beautiful. Actually, and then you would write that down. If you come to one of my classes, I will unpack exactly. That's my little moment of commercial. Is we can unpack exactly how to break down a scene objective, because there is a whole method in that madness of getting a scene objective down. The what's, the where's, the why's, the how's, and all this kind of stuff to actually map it out. But on the top of it all, guys, to get my control back, I think is gorgeous. Would you say? Yeah? Yeah. Can I get two more people to read it through again now? Yeah? Two more people? Two more people? Yep. Go, Alex. Oh, you want to see? I've got it really small writing on me. If you could read it.
Sorry, the font's a bit small.
Oh, thank you.
While this is happening, you guys, I just want to make a key point about the scene objective, because you know what? We've got all this inner work that can go on. I'm pretty sure, even though we've started on the inner work, you guys, I would like to think, maybe not, you kind of have connected to these types of people, yes, you would say, and we're just obviously touching the surface. Because the inner work is great, that's what's going to create that multifaceted and also this subconscious delivery of the character that you can't control when that lens is on you. But the thing is sometimes too much inner work, because you're so emotionally attached to stuff. I'm a glutton for punishment on that one myself, when you just need to follow the objective of the scene. You know, you just need to follow it, because if you've got too much of this wave coming over you, and you're not, and it's actually disabling you in a way of you not actually following through to get your control back. Yeah, just want to highlight that there, because if you have got things from your past that you know you can bring into your work and give it fire, that some people don't have, and they've got to mine deeper. If you've already got it at the surface boiling up, man, this is gold for you, because I'd love to do an exercise with your chin later on to really get that to the surface. And then the thing that I would say to you is then you need to then just follow that objective, because you know you've got to get out of it. It is one last time. Yeah. It's a very powerful moment. Anyway, guys, let's roll it again. Let's see if we can actually, Alex. Let's just now turn the notch up just a little bit, because we've had a little bit of a discussion now about the scene, yeah? So let's just see if we can put even just a little bit, I don't want to say a performance element on it, but I do want to say that. So it's just like, let's see if we can just sort of harness a little bit more and see what we've been speaking about and see how that's been filtered through to you, yeah? Yeah? If you want to move around a little bit, please feel free. You don't want to be so stationary next to each other. Please feel free. And that's another thing too, guys, you know, when you're rehearsing stuff, do what you want within that environment. Obviously, there's physicality in this scene that needs to be talked through. I'll highlight at the top of the scene. But when you're rehearsing, it's a rehearsal. Go for it. Go backwards and forwards. You know, repeat something because you felt that didn't come across with the intention. You know, when we're actioning a specific line, all this kind of stuff. Don't feel like you've just got to motor through. You know, there's no point. You know, if you feel like you haven't said it right, like anything in life, go back and say it again. And sometimes we can't rewind, but you know, sometimes I could. But just allow yourself to, go back and recheck it, because it is art at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It is art, and you really wanted to get that real specificness of detail for the character, yeah. And your rehearsal is such a crucial time to do that. Yeah? Okay, guys, in your own time, I'll just let you run the scene. Yeah.
Hello.
Marie,
What's wrong?
crash ahead of me.
Are you okay, Derek?
I can't breathe.
Are you hurt?
No, but I need scotch. I can't take this.
Count for me. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You missed 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Feel your lungs and notice how your chest expands and then release. Where are you? I can't touch you.
Untrue. Just past the entrance. Be quick.
You're okay. I'm here.
Thanks. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago, when it nearly took you off the road.
Bitch, I remember.
That language is why our marriage didn't work.
Sorry, I just need a drink. One last time. I promise. And then it will be completely out of my system.
No.
Please, you don't understand the pain I'm in. You've got it easy.
I do understand. I've been there for you every time. And the worst of it, when you blacked out.
One last time.
Let go, Derek. It's okay. I've got the scotch. Bye.
Scotch.
Actually, that was the first time I actually realised there's a repetition of the one last time. It was really beautiful. I hadn't resonated with me as much before, but it was that real realisation of getting your control back. It's like, I've heard that before. That's it. Done. There was a lovely response there when you know, he said it in a way that was that just monosyllabic, just bang, 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 and then you just responded to it, and then that was allowing you to go. Because there's that sort of attachment of love that people have between each other, or dependency of it, can be that thing that disables you, and you could have potentially stayed. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was the lovely delivery that he gave you that was enough for you to go, yeah, my decision was. Because you did it, you read it in a way that it's almost like you were coming from the sense of, okay, he's calling again. What's the time again? Oh yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when he calls. You know, these are the things. This could be not a bloody accident in front. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the mystery of these scripts sometimes, you know. You've got to take your own, you know, perception of these sort of things. Potentially isn't this thing, and she knows. And she knows she's got to be somewhere near because, I don't know, they've got children together, you know, and then there's this other escalation of what exactly is going on between these two people, and that's the glory I love about it's actually when I said that. It's like these things that all of a sudden then fill that role that you didn't expect before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many, I think the key thing I want to say to you is, obviously today, and that's what these these workshops are all about, you know, is you've got so many people that can play this role, but it is how you play it and how you perceive it. I think that's a key takeaway that I'd love to say from this. There's so much more I want to give you as information, but I see Jess is sitting down. Oh, no, I've still got time, mate. Okay, cool. But that is the thing that I want to say to you guys, once again, moving on from that. Because where are you from, Isabel, then? Where are you from, then? Your home town?
Canberra.
Country? Like country?
You
nationality?
mean, okay, France.
You know, so already there's a lovely kind of, I want to say exoticness, and there's already a whole history behind her in the sense of how she can put that into the role as well. So never deny where you come from, at all. You shouldn't, you know. That's the thing that can give you that really signature trait to it as well. And there was also another dynamic, if you don't mind me kind of sort of saying, for example, if in all due respect, if you were to be put here as a casting, it could be that it's your son, okay, and that's your mum. You know, like you could actually then flip the scene in a way that would make it make sense for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's already that initiative. And if you're in a casting room, that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, or there's a whole backstory to you that you're like the younger guy. You know what I mean? And then that's that real crippling thing for you. And that's that thing, you know, you've got to stop. So there's all these lovely layering in relation to doing that as well, guys. I think that's the sort of key element that I really want to say to you when you have been given a script, say in a short space of time. The best instrument you have is yourself to work the scene, you know, to work the magic. You know what I mean? So don't ever deny all the aspects of yourself within yourself and identify, embrace yourself, give value to yourself. The more that you identify you and who you are and where you come from, that can all be played out into these people that you are yet to play. That's sort of something I say a lot. And you've got to give yourself permission to do that because you remember you're playing a role. So don't think, oh, I can't do that, you know. I can't play that drug alcoholic person because of, I don't know, maybe some past experiences or that. Or I can't write about it. You know what? Hats off, in a way, in the sense of, you know what, just put it out there and let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? So I think this whole sort of workshop is a great environment for us to fail. And then from that fail, then we can just pick ourselves back up and then, you know, put it all together. And then you're working with some great minds that you're able to then make magic out of it. And I think those lovely accidentals within our work is the key components that can bring out a really unique performance. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, let's get 2 more people up here if you don't mind. Let's get just 2 more people up here, guys. Nice. So we've already kind of touched on the fact of reading it for the first time, writing down your initial responses to it, and then from that, you're kind of going back, and then you're kind of going, okay, what is this whole scene about? And that kind of gave us a bit of like an overall scene objective, and then within that, we were able to look at like the actual the overall objective, and then to a scene objective. So I've actually done some really quick kind of breakdown in a very short space of time. You know what I mean? And also, like, the next thing would be to see now where are those transitions that I can hit that mark there and hit that beat there and action these lines in a way that actually then responds back to the scene objective if we're all going for the same one in the sense of getting my control back. Yeah? So these are those lovely little springboards that you can do to actually create a very unique performance. Hey, hi. I just a bit better. Have we got a partner for Becky, guys? Oh, young, yeah. Would you like to go?
I guess.
Are you acting?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Alright. I don't have a script.
Oh, yeah, that's you got to leave when you get. Okay, good. And yeah. You know what I'm saying? As I said, guys, as before, if you want to stand or whatever you want to do to give yourself some sort of impulse there. Actually, I'm gonna add something to this little bit here now. Okay, cool. So this is one of the key components. Okay, we did touch on it before. What is that moment before? So where have you been? Where have you come from? So this is a very powerful thing for you as an actor to put into play into a scene. So, for example, where do we think that these people have come from? Where have you come from? Where have you been before to be now at this particular junction and point to pick up that phone? Where are you at right now? Like, for example, you know, Mari could be having lunch or dinner with her husband, you know, and her kids, and the ex calls and she's like, oh, you know, and it's that kind of like, you know, that crutch that was said last time. The crutch man, that is that, you know, like she, and you know, and then she's having to make those excuses. Like, what is that? It's that freaking umbilical cord that doesn't cut off, you know. So, and for Derek, like, where has he been before? Where is he before? Like, that's it. Any ideas, guys? Any ideas? Any ideas what would give you that moment before?
Well, he's a soldier, so he knows what he's saying.
At this particular junction right now, where has he come? So a literal moment, guys, in this moment in your life, to give yourself that impulse into the scene, just a moment before. And this can come from sometimes, okay, there's double whammy in saying this. This can come from you as the actor, in the sense of giving yourself grounding within the scene. So, in the sense of like giving yourself a moment of like go. So where were you heading? Okay, let's go backwards to go forward again. Where is he actually heading?
I don't know. Particularly where he was heading, but
yeah.
I suppose for me, when I sort of read it, the first impression I got was that like he was driving and he was fine, and then this happened and it was just a flood of emotion. So it wasn't exactly like he was already in his head. He was fine, and just that crash, I guess, the noise and the loudness or whatever, instantly brought him back to where he was, as if he was in the war or whatever. I don't know particularly where he was driving to, but just that change of emotion, I guess. That sudden. You could be, really fine and happy and everything's okay, and you're doing all right, you're having a great day, and then you can just swap really quickly, and you can just sort of fall into that.
So give yourself something. You actually mapped that out really lovely, Daniel. So give yourself some sort of format. So if he does have a sort of a normal day, where has he come from? Where is he coming from now to give him that impulse to start this scene? So in a way you could picture it that everything was all very lovely, cruising along, and this is his routine. And then, I don't know, if something that's jumped in my head, maybe he's going to an AA meeting or something like that. So in the sense of just giving yourself that little bit of urgency and stepping into the scenes. Like in theatre, you step onto the stage, so where have you just come from? I'll just, because this caught me in the side, it's like, for example, sometimes theatre, it can be just sometimes the little things of, like tying, these little things like tying a shoelace or something like that, or putting your jacket on, or these little things that give you that kind of moment before you come into the scene. Like you've just said goodbye to someone. That's a common trick that people are going, and you're into the scene. So they're very banal kind of ones. It's always like nice to do it in a sense of where it is emerging from something else that's going to give you that real impulse into the scene. And we can go to some more deep-rooted script analysis in the sense of it can be the fact that every day he has to say things to himself before he gets in the car. I don't know, this is where you do some research and sort of see PTSD. What are sort of mantras is the word I want to say. What is a mantra that someone says when they get into a car before, if they suffer from PTSD and they have been a soldier? Or has he just put his favourite song on or something like that? So just giving you that sort of fuel of, something that is actually rooted within the fact of you getting your, once again, back to the scene objective, getting his control back. So it's all these lovely, these mind mapping things that everything then can relate to the scene objective in the sense of you mind mapping it back to that scene objective to give you that moment before. And then for yourself there, Beck, so what do you recommend?
I think Mari's with friends, catching up.
Yeah.
And then sees his number and has to have a moment of joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then is maybe a little bit embarrassed because all of her friends know that it's her eggs and she should probably leave him alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she can't.
And in saying that, I'm just going to add another sort of tag onto that, guys. Because say, for example, this was in a film. Yeah. So what was the scene before? That's another way to look at it, to give you even more of a clearer impulse into this particular moment right now. If this was in a film, what was the scene that was just before? So then therefore, what is that moment before this moment that's going to get you into that moment? So that's another way to kind of like springboard it as well. So if this was a scene in a film, what would be actually happening that scene before? That would then drive this car crash of, this human condition where we kind of, always love to destroy each other and all this kind of thing. What actually was that moment before that, there's a certain vibration sometimes. It's almost like this, this vibration was happening. I don't know, and there's a lot, I'm going to say something really offhand here. It's a sort of sense of like the car, the vibration of the car, the driving. There's a lot of sounds in this scene actually, the ringing of the phone, all that kind of stuff when you actually start to map things out as well. So that's lovely sort of transitions into moments as well. So I'm gonna allow you to close your eyes now quickly, guys. Yeah, super close. and just sort of get yourself into just bringing out a sense of, like, I'm abracadabra, sorry. Get yourself into the zone of what that moment before could be potentially for you, and everything we've just sort of spoken about, because, you know, actors, we absorb stuff and we observe life, so just everything we've sort of spoken about now, give yourself an opportunity to give yourself a moment before, yeah, and I really want you to visualise that moment for yourself, that event that is happening before, yeah. And this, at the moment, obviously it's a bit raw, so potentially this could be something that's even coming from the fact of your own self. That moment where you were in control, everything was controlled, so that lovely moment, and then internalising that now and really putting yourself into it, or you're observing it from the outside there, and then allowing your emotions to kind of be hit up from that. So allowing yourself to be responding to what your body is telling you right now in that particular moment, yeah? The bliss of being with your friends, all this lovely calmness and all that kind of stuff, yeah? And the fact that, you know, you don't really want to get in the car because it was the mine when you were driving it as a soldier, it was the car that blew up that all your mates died from. But you've got to go get the milk. It could be something as simple as that, you know? Yeah. And then allow that to surface through your body there, guys. Yeah, really allow yourself to respond that physically through your body. Take a deep breath and open your eyes when you're ready. You can start listening there.
Hello.
Mari? Hey.
What's wrong?
There's a crash ahead of me.
Are you okay, Derek?
I can't breathe.
Are you hurt?
No, I need scotch. I can't take this.
Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You missed 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Fill your lungs and notice how your chest expands and then release. Where are you? I'll come get you.
Duntroon, just past the entrance gate. Be quick, yeah?
You're okay, I'm here now.
Thanks. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago when it nearly took you off the road.
Bitch, I remember, right?
That language is why our marriage didn't work.
I'm sorry, okay? I just need a drink, right? Just like one last time. I promise, and then it'll be completely out of my system.
No.
Please, okay? You don't understand. You got it easy.
I do understand. I've been there for you every time. In the worst of it, when you blacked out.
One last time, okay?
But go, Derek. It's okay. I'll get the scotch. Bye, Derek.
Scotch?
Did you guys feel that sort of vibration when she got in the car? And it's kind of like that moment when you've got to face the person that you just like, everything rushes back into your body again. And you're just like, you're almost a bit dizzy with it. That's where there was a beautiful kind of that real beat change. And that's an opportunity for I don't know, the way that I was sort of seeing it in the sense of those old habits coming back into that conversation. And it's written beautifully into it. And the fact that you're going, I just wanted to highlight the fact of where you're going to, like, you need Duntroon. So there's just something key word in there, like, why is he near Duntroon? Like, there's just something, I don't know, for me. Explore that for yourself, guys. Could I get, could I actually, like, get you two to stay up there? Okay, I'm just going to throw a curveball into the scene, because we want to get the sort of energies up even more. Can we see it as a, this is me being bad with, how old are you now?
23.
23 and Beck? Yeah, okay, so there is, okay, good. So I was just going to say, could we do it in a way that, could you sort of almost take like a strong directorial sort of moment here from me to you, sorry, that was really bad English. I'm going to give you a strong sort of directorial thing. It's almost like, say for example, this is a consistent thing that is happening. This is your son that you love, but you've got to get yourself. It's that sort of push and pull where you just can't. It's that sort of where you love him, but it's that hard, tough love kind of like. I don't know, just for sake, and a few of the people that I know I've worked with before here will know when I really want you to kind of like just jump in there and escalate the scene even more and just see where it flies, because I have a feeling you can do this, then there's something about you I really like. You want that scotch, mate. You know, when someone just won't give you what you want. Maybe we might move the chair, move one chair at least.
Yep.
Yeah. So for example, say he's in the driver's seat. So the car, just move it across here, babe, and then you'd be coming from that side, babe. How are Australian cars? I know they're on that side. Oh yeah, so yeah. So here, so the window's here. So for example, so yeah, and it's just like but there's no reason why you have to be seated in the car as well before she comes, because there's just a tiny transition of time. So you could potentially be in the gutter. Like this is another thing to think about how you map the scene out as well, guys. There's no reason why you're sitting in the car, you know. And once again, there's no reason why he even saw an accident. It's just maybe seeing Duntroon or something like that. There was no accident in front of him. I don't know, I'm just sort of throwing some sort of ideas there to you guys. So that's something to think about from an actor's choice, making some strong choices and go, you know what, I don't see him sitting, driving in the car. He's not there, he's not driving in the car. Because there's too much for him to see. I'd love to run it again, guys, and this was probably finished off the session, is I just want to see how you can, your particular hunter, really go after that scotch, give me that control back. Your control is actually having the scotch, and your control is actually, help me out here guys if you want to say it, help me out here. Your control is more the fact of, I need to control myself to give over to give him the scotch as well. That's maybe one way. Would someone say another way? Your control is to make sure you don't give it to him. You definitely don't give it to him. Yeah. Probably. Let's just run it and let's just see what happens, guys. Let's just run it again.
Hello.
Mari, hey.
What's wrong?
There's a crash ahead of me.
Are you okay, Derek?
I can't breathe.
Are you hurt?
No, but I need scotch, okay? I can't take this.
Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You missed 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Fill your lungs and notice how your chest expands, and then release.
I'm just going to get back there super quick, guys. So the fact of you know this call's coming in, you know this is the routine again, Murray. So it's almost like even before you pick up that phone, it's like, okay, you give yourself that moment. And I want you to have the mindset, this is your son.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe, like I was happy to be myself.
Oh, okay.
And then
Cool,
I
cool.
realised it's wrong.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's great. That's fantastic. Yep. Let's go. Let's
Would it be weird if I say mum instead of Mari, or should I just stay
say. Nah, sometimes kids call their parents by their name, don't they? Yeah. It's that new age thing. say Mari.
Okay.
We'll keep it there. Yep.
Hello.
Mari,
What's wrong?
there's a crash ahead of me.
Are you okay, Derek?
I can't breathe.
Are you hurt?
No, but I need scotch. I can't take this.
Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 7.
You missed 4, 5, and 6.
Good. Fill your lungs and notice how your chest expands, and then release. Where are you? I'll come get you.
Duntroon, just past the entrance. Be quick, yeah?
You're okay, I'm here now.
Thanks. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago when it really took you off the road.
Yeah, bitch, I remember, right? Yeah.
That language is why we don't work.
I'm gonna step in now. So say for example, you're back here, you park your car up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is you just sort of going after the fact of gaining that control. Yeah?
Okay.
So for yourself there, Daniel, like the fact that you've asked her to bring the scotch, and this is the afternoon time period where you need your scotch.
Yeah.
You know, it's also strange as well because you could go and go to the bottle there yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's also that as well.
Yeah.
They're great, those dry fruits. It's very interesting. Let's see, what I'm wanting to do is to ham up that obstacle, the fact that obstacle, that's another sort of key phrase in the sense of script analysis, is the obstacle is that you can't get the scotch, you haven't got it. You're waiting for it to come, yeah? And it's sort of weird in a way, in the sense of you're somewhere needing the scotch. Is it the needing the scotch, okay? Or is it needing her? You know what I mean? Like this is the thing I love about when you start to deep script analysis, that, you know, the fact of the scotch really isn't the key component. It is actually this woman. You need your mum. Yeah? So, okay, I'm going to add another layer onto this right now because this is what I do. I want you to, after every line, say, I'm sorry, but I also want to say, I love you. And you say, I love you to someone. Yeah? After every line, after every moment or afterthought that you say, I want you to say the intention underneath is, I love you. I love you. Yeah? Yeah.
Sorry, do you want me to think it or
Say it. No, you say it. Because it's actually sort of that under-goal intention. Why I'm saying this as well, guys, is there's a lot of the time with everything that we do, everything comes from love. It's like, I love you. You fucking bitch! You know? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like that sort of thing where, and this is the lovely component that I like, is because when I see it done with my actors, like I've worked with Alex quite a bit, just the body, just, it gives over, and you just have to give over to that emotional capacity that you have as a person, a human being. You don't want a scotch, you want your mum. Yeah?
Yeah.
You want your mum. Because you went off to war too young. Yeah? All that. Like, actually, you package right now, Dan, you know, playing someone like Derek, you know, for example, is so much in the sense of what's wrong sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The fact that you've come back with this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying, mate? So it's very powerful. Let's see what happens, guys. I'm just throwing all these crazy kind of exercises
So
at
are
you
we saying
guys.
I love you after
Yeah,
every
totally.
bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Are we going from
Just
where
go
she's
from that
here?
when she comes, yeah? So this is a moment for you to give yourself an opportunity to give yourself a moment to, it's almost like an internal monologue, we call it, where you're talking to yourself in real time as you. This is an exercise outside of it being in the scene, but it's something that you can prime yourself up towards as the moment before to start the scene. In the sense of giving yourself that moment before to prime yourself up. So the sense of the fact of the scene objective being, I need you to give me my control back. But saying that, is there someone in your life that sometimes you wish they would give you your control back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So in saying that, you're in a room full of trust here. This is the thing of working with other actors and fellow creatives. I want you to say that person's name out loud, if you feel comfortable enough. Do you feel comfortable enough?
Yeah.
Or give it another name. We don't know. So I need you to give me my control back because, and then it's almost like verbal diarrhea where you're allowing yourself to be emotionally connected, and it's a life or death situation. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? So, like, for example, like, I need you, Mum, to give me my control back because, you know what, things in my life, okay, they might not be worked out the way you want, but I'm a good person, okay? And maybe I don't stand up to the level that you want me to, but, you know what, I'm trying my goddamn best, you know? Trying my goddamn best. You know, I can't stand the fact that she's here. Give me my fucking scotch, bitch! Just the sense of where you can allow it to physicalize to your body, and then that's the thing I was sort of saying before, where you were sort of visualizing something, you're internalizing it, to emotionalise it, to physicalise it, then the sound is what comes out to actually say the lines, yeah?
Yeah.
I should play myself back sometime and go, yeah. But does that make sense then?
No, it does. Yeah. No, just
Yeah. See how it goes. See how, and this is where I go back to what I just said before. Then you give yourself permission, mate.
Yeah.
You're an actor. This is the scary part of acting, where you've got to really allow yourself to be vulnerable. But in that vulnerability, you're so invulnerable, because you know what, no one else can do it, and that's why you have that strong work ethic, and then you want to get it right. You don't just want to get it right, but you want to get it right every time you do it. So this is an opportunity for you to sort of see how you can allow yourself to free fall into the scene.
Yeah.
And trust in you.
I might do the insecure bit internally and then just go from there. Do I
Okay.
have to do it there?
Another option, I'll just say this on the top of it all, is sometimes you can write it down as well. Just another idea there, guys. You can actually write it down, yeah? Because it's just a sort of this verbal diary. Even if you mumble it, honey, just to sort of get it out of your system, sweetheart, yeah?
Right.
Okay, cool. All respect, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's
I understand, I understand. No worries.
Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago when it nearly took you off the road?
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
I'm going to torture you now. So go back and do that again, because the first line is actually, you're okay, I'm here now. So you got to go up to someone that is a bit like, so you watching from a distance is kind of nice. So play it here, huh? Play it sort of here near your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jump in there, Daniel.
Yeah.
Find me. You're okay. I'm here now.
Yeah, thanks. Right. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago when it nearly took you off the
Yeah,
road?
which I remember, okay?
That language is why we don't work.
Right, sorry. Just need a drink, right? One last time, okay? I promise, and it'll be out of my system. Please, you don't understand, okay? You've got it easy.
I do understand.
Go back on that line, yeah? Go back on that one then, guys. So please, you don't understand the pain I'm in. You got it easy. It's like the thing that gets you is like, I don't understand, man. As soon as he's finishing, you jump in and go, I do understand.
Yeah.
Alright, please, okay? You don't understand the pain I'm in. You've got it easy, alright?
I do understand. I've been there for you every time. In the worst of it. When you blacked out.
One last time, okay?
Let go, Derek.
Let's stop there, guys, and we'll move on to physicality later. We forgot the I love yous at the end.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
forget. Sorry, let's go back super quick, guys. From the top, yeah. First positions, as we would say, yeah? I thought you guys were supposed to know these lines, no? Sorry.
Familiarise.
Sorry. Okay, cool. Let's go again. From the top with I love you at the end, yeah? So first positions, yeah? So give over to, just give him that moment, just to give himself a moment to get himself into the moment. Yep.
You're okay. I'm here now.
Thanks. Where's the scotch? I love you.
You quit drinking.
Connect with her, Daniel, when you say that name. Don't just dismiss it.
It doesn't. Yeah. Feels.
Try it.
Yeah.
Try it, and then you can go, now, Fee, that's rubbish. As long as you try it, then we can talk.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
From that one.
Yeah, go from the thanks. I love you.
Right.
Where's the scotch?
Thanks. I love you. Where's the scotch?
You quit drinking, remember? A year ago when it nearly took you off the road. I love you.
Bitch, I remember.
I love you.
That language is why we don't work. I love you.
Sorry, okay. I just need a drink. One last time. Promise, and then it's completely out of my system. I love you. please, you don't understand the pain. You've got it easy. Hello.
I understand. I've been there for you every time. And the worst of it, when you blacked out, I love you.
One last time. Hello.
No. I love you. Bye, Derek. Oh, sorry, I can't put
No, it's good. It was quite interesting. You could see that lovely balance where you, even though you were sort of finding people that love you, there was actually, you were both trying to get that control back. It was actually like the magnets coming together that couldn't quite touch. You know what I mean? There was something really beautiful just on that lovely surface of it there, guys. Well done. That's it. Am I okay for time, Jess? I just keep going.
We might go for 5 more minutes. One of our actors is nearly here. And
Okay, hon.
we might keep prep time down a little bit or combine prep time with shooting time. We'll talk about that.
Okay, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
Everyone feeling it's up to you, really.
For me, I just kept going because I thought you were going to cut me off and go,
Is
"Fee, it's 40
everyone
minutes
okay?
up."
We might just end up a little bit over time today. We were hoping to have all the shooting done by 3, but the show, if we could have a Q&A at maybe 3:30.
Yeah, sure, thing, mate.
Just conscious of,
Yep.
then let's do 5 more minutes and then
5 more
quick tea
minutes?
and coffee
Okay,
and
cool.
we'll
Well, let's
start.
just sit down, guys. Let's just have a quick sort of little moment here in the sense of, actually, you know what I might ask? I might ask people, so what are your initial approaches when you do look at a scene? I'm just actually curious from that perspective. How do you actually approach a scene when you've been given it?
I do the who, what, when, where, why, and how.
Okay. Yep.
So I analyse who's in the scene, analyse what the scene is. I kind of search for clues in the script for when this is happening.
Yep.
And why this is happening at
Yep.
this particular stage.
Yep.
And how is like the various variables in the scene, like in this particular example, like, you know, there's a car involved, there's a car accident involved,
Yep.
things like that indicate to me that Derek is leaving Dun Troon afternoon, possibly during peak hour, and thus created the circumstances
Yep.
for the accident to actually occur.
Fantastic.
So that's how I normally approach it.
A real forensic kind of way of approaching. Yeah, we become detectives as actors. That was brilliant, mate. Like in the sense of just really kind of just mapping it out for the logistics within it, and then that can then counteract how did that event then have that response and reaction to it. So yeah, that from that real kind of analytical, kind of academic kind of way. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then from that, I would then, you know, then pull back and kind of go, okay, how am I responding to those moments as well? So putting the flesh even on it, flesh on it. But and because you have some things in the basement in a way, as I say, for the fact that you do that first, and then you know you've got this stuff in the basement, you can deliver a beautiful arc of a character, and then when you go on set, you'll be ready because the director will be like, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. Because you have already done that before you have got to set as well. Because obviously, you know, sometimes there's not long rehearsal times working in film, that kind of stuff. So yeah, beautiful. Any other sort of approaches there, guys, that you work with the scripts and scenes? Yes, Dan.
I haven't done it a lot because I'm relatively new to this sort of thing, but I guess more silly as it sounds, I get sort of a vibe for the scene. Like I read through it and more just go off of how like the emotional vibe I get from it, or the range, like how I feel he would feel, or she, or whoever I'm sort of pretending to be. I guess, just more maybe like the subtext behind it, and like how you would feel, how I interpret it to feel as they're saying the sentence, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Totally, man. I think that would make sense to a lot of people in the room. Louise is very much, Louise is one of my students, and most definitely. It is, we use that word actually on the showreel weekend that we did. It was the vibe, it's the vibe. It is, there's a vibration to a scene, there's a temperature, there's a pulse, kind of, and that in itself can give you, like for me, that's already like sitting into the fact of that heartbeat and that sense of like, if you look at the way something's written, grammatically, and really respect the fact that a full stop's there and a comma's there, that can give you the sort of sense and the heart rate to that person. So then that automatically gives a sense of, okay, this person's like this person's very flighty, this person thinks quick, you know, so that, and that would sit different with you than it would sit with different with Isabel, if, you know, for the examples of that. And that derives back from when you're analysing particularly Shakespearean texts, because there's so much grammar, and it's like, how do you get into that? The grammar gives you the actual character. You know, there's many exercises within that we can do as well. But yeah, I hear, because it just, and that's you just stepping in and you using yourself as that instrument. So I think then the more that you give over to that, and if that subtext, so the subtext that I gave you was the fact of you really do love your mum, but you don't know how to say it to her just yet, you know, and you know that she's trying to she's not trying to take control of you as well, sort of thing. So she just wants you to take better control of yourself. So that one, I'd love to see you sit with it again if you sort of knew that that was the sort of that subtext sitting there of every line that you were saying, because you don't want to be drinking and you know, that's something that you really don't want to be going down that path, but it's what you need to do to heal at this particular time. So yeah, beautiful. I'm very much like that, where it's just physical, it's in your body kind of thing, and that vibration. Yeah, listen to it every morning. Like,
Yeah, that's what I struggle with, getting it out in front of me. It's just still quite like nervous in front of people and stuff. I haven't done a little bit, so I'm kind of like at home. I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. And I get in front of people, and I'm like, I'm sad now. Like, you know what I mean? So.
No, I totally know what you mean, mate. But
Can I
that,
just jump in and ask for advice on, because that's very relevant, and every actor works differently on what a director can do to be conscious of that, or how an actor can say, you know, I prefer less people being in the room, and to accommodate that as well. Judith Weston talks about never talk to an actor in front of the whole crew, you know, just be conscious of that, you know, try and clear the room if you can, and do it privately, because it is so intimate.
I suppose there's two ways of looking at it, because obviously if it's deep-rooted conversation, hopefully that would have happened before you got to set. Unfortunately, you sometimes don't have the time to clear a set, you know. But I think it's just, I was just going to say straight back at Daniel, it's just going to, over time and experience, you'll start to just let it just go, you know, whatever. Whoever's 1,000 odd people in the room, you just bang, you just do it. That's it, mate. Like, just do it, But initially, it can be, but there's no harm in going up to a director when you're first sort of newbie and just going, you know, just giving those thoughts over to them. But I think in yourself, you seem like you're a pretty sound kind of guy, so you give a good vibe off to me. So I would imagine this is something that just probably within 6 months maybe you'll just have it in one.
It's probably just like a confidence thing. Just like doing it more. So.
But you're not alone.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not alone with stuff like that. So in retrospect, it's a good thing, because it means that you're wanting to explore, you're wanting to try stuff. The fact that you are feeling a little bit sort of on the edge in a way, and then that when that sort of bubble bursts, it will be beautiful and brilliant. What will come out of it, I can feel it, mate. So yeah.
But to be fair, you didn't look nervous at all.
No.
And then there you go.
You were
Someone
channeling what looked like someone very agitated on the side of the road. But if that was nerves, then it worked perfectly.
Yeah, totally.
Cool, right?
And that's another thing as well.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I did see, and you were 23, we all remember what that was like. You were struggling with the I love you, right? Which is, that's a normal thing for 23-year-old men to struggle with throughout time.
Isn't it for everyone?
Since Eve. I would have been interested if you had have switched that up. I know that was against what he was saying, but if you had have said, I hate you at the end of it, instead of I love you. And I feel like that would have worked for you better. And I'm not a director, but you may have meant the same thing emotionally.
Because it makes sense. He hates himself for still being dependent on his mum. And therefore we would hate her a bit for that. So maybe.
No, totally. Everything you're saying is so totally valid, and it's kind of like the fact of, maybe try the opposite, because that would release it, but then that's the easy thing for him. So it's kind of like, pushing against that again, but there's no harm in trying. Like, there's many options that can be done. But in the sense of a 23-year-old kid saying to his mum, I love you, it's kind of like, but then that's when in yourself, just give over to it, mate. And that's when your strength will come through. That's it, most definitely. Any others there, guys? Any other questions or thoughts provoked from this session? at all?
Louis?
Oh, Lou, sorry, mate.
I'm just coming from a screenwriting perspective. How often is it that the actors get given a Bible?
A Bible? What do you mean by that, Lou? Sorry, mate?
It's like the screenwriter's Bible
Oh, okay.
with the characters and their traits and
Yep.
things
Yeah.
like their reactions and the way they think.
Favourite songs?
Yeah.
Song list?
Well, a Bible is, it's different for every show. Sometimes a Bible is written before the script and it's written in order to just get the show made. And sometimes there's a Bible if it's an ongoing show, which is actually a collation of continuity, essentially. So Bibles are very different, but there's usually one for a show.
Yeah.
And it is a really great insight to have accompanying the script. And Lou was just asking if actors are ever given a copy of it. It usually doesn't have one of those character profiles. It's like, what did they have for breakfast? What's their favourite thing? But it gives a real, like one-pager on each character and the dynamic and the relationships between them and what their overall arc is. And
Is that before the script's actually written?
Yes, but sometimes it's maintained and expanded on.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes it accompanies the finished pilot. Usually you have a pilot, at least a pilot and this Bible.
I've had it in theatre pieces a lot where there'll be a description of character. That's one thing I've done a lot. There's been there. But I'm probably going to answer this sort of just how I'm sort of feeling it, in the sense of obviously the duty of an actor is to bring that life to the character. So you can have the synopsis there in the Bible of where it's been written and come from. But in my mind, in my experience, it would be more the fact of then just being handed that script and coming off the page. Sometimes like in scenes or auditions you'll have, as Kat has written here, little blurbs so you can get it straight away, a mapping out of the character. But generally speaking, it's our job to create that character as our service, and so that's where I would be coming from.
Because it could be a disservice to the actual thing by not knowing how the director or the writer perceive.
I suppose that's why you have casting. That's why you have casting. So you want to see someone that fits. There'll be a character description, say for an audition casting or something. I think that's maybe, but specifically like given to the actor, you have to play it like this. Oh, don't. Yeah.
You might be offending. You might actually be. You might be womansplaining. To them.
Suck eggs.
Yeah.
Exactly. Suck eggs.
So you risk offending.
Yeah, you risk actually not seeing the brilliance of what an actor can bring to it. Because we did see some different interpretations just come out from the people that were sitting here in the room. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Any other thoughts there, guys, at all, or any other sort of ways into scripts that you work?
Do you want to say something? Kat wrote the scene as well. How's this been for you? With the session as an actor and a writer.
Pardon?
Any reflections?
Well, it's therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
I like
Cathartic.
that. I see, in the guy, I see simmering rage, but it's like simmering underneath. And it only gets like sort of triggered for those little moments. I don't know, that's what I see.
And how was this session, seeing actors
so
act out your
cool.
script as well?
So
No,
cool.
that's fine. It's a reflection.
I like the different interpretations. Yeah. And yeah, she's like, she does love him and she wants him to be okay. But realizing, I can't help him. He wants a scotch more than he wants me. Or he wants the scotch more than he realizes what I've done for him.
So then that's a betrayal then.
Completely dismissive of what she's ever done for him, what he's put her through. He even is gripping her wrist and causing pain. and he's like not even realising that he's doing it.
Yeah.
And she's like yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll say anything just to get out of that. That's what I
Actually,
think.
the other thing, Kat, what you just said then as well, mate, the thing I always love when I'm looking at a scene as well is that why did this scene need to be written? So why did she need to pick up the phone? All that kind of stuff. That's the thing I love the most is when you can come at it from that angle.
The attachment,
Yeah.
loving.
Yeah. The thing for me is just this undercurrent of the fact of she's still enabling him.
Yeah, enabling. It's definitely about enabling.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she just refuses to enable it.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Can I ask at the end, you know, you say this thing, her eyes deaden when she's leaving. Is this her last time? Is that her moment when she decides it's the last time she's going to help him?
Yes, somewhat. Yeah, because she sees in him, and she thought she saw something a bit redeemable.
Yeah.
And then she looks at him and goes, like, because he's hurting her as she looks at him, and she's like, I don't know who you are anymore, sort of thing. Like, yeah, last time. That's why she drives off.
Yeah, because I just heard Jackie Lambie talk about it when her son was on ice. She said, I didn't know that, I didn't know him anymore. He wasn't my son anymore.
Yeah.
She fought for him to get treatment, but he wasn't, that person wasn't my son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about that moment. Anyway.
Because they can be manipulative, they can like really,
Totally.
oh, thank you for being here for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can also, not only manipulative, but if it's like an ongoing thing,
Cycle.
you've not only with your addiction, you've hurt yourself, but you have a minefield of people that you've just destroyed in the process. Alcoholic parents, for example, and their children who grow up with alcoholism still have to go through learning what it is to be safe as a person in a society that goes, yay, cool, alcohol is good, but throughout your entire life you know that the damage it causes in your interrelationships.
Yeah.
So it's just, there's so much like to unpack, especially with Derek, like just oofy doofy.
You've actually highlighted something, Jen, in the sense of, you know, the scripts that are written, the scripts that we do, all that kind of stuff is, what is that audience then? What are we saying to that audience? So to be mindful if there is like deep-rooted sort of social issues and all that kind of thing, how do we manage and marry that to our work where we're doing it, authentically, I suppose is the word to say, and we're just, what is the message? I think there's something to think about going into today's scene is like what exactly is the message you wanted to give over here, because there's some strong themes in this piece. I think that's one of the reasons why I chose it, because of that. So there's a lot of layers there. It's very current, and there's aspects of that people can relate to. So I think in working on it, guys, is that what is that message? Who are the directors here, guys? Again, who are the directors for today? Yep.
Oh no.
The directors.
And Seb.
Yep, and Seb. So say Jason. Let me pick you, mate. Hello. So what is the message that you see within this thing? Because you've done a bit of military service too, haven't you?
Pretty much just addiction. I do like you said, control, like regaining that control and composure, and finding that something that can keep you calm in a storm. In this case, it is alcohol, and for Mary to pretty much reclaim her life. I mean, I did interpret that there was definitely still that love between us. It was like, well, why would they get together in the first place? But then to have something overpoweringly traumatic to happen to Derek, it does kind of cloud your mind and your judgment. So how can you recover from that? And they've broken up. So it's kind of like Mary still loves. There is that love there, but we divorced for a reason. We need to move on. Derek needs to sort his shit out, get proper help instead of turning to booze.
So what would you want your audiences to be left with watching what you do today? What's your message?
My message. I wanted to kind of like bring in a bit of shock in war almost, but in a bit of a subtle way, but without doing like too much of a PSA kind of thing, but alcohol isn't good. Basically that.
Okay. Yes, like it sounds like even like just explaining that there's a lot of themes within this piece, guys. So I think just one thing to think about, what is it that you want that audience to be left with when they see a scene like this? Yeah. So, and particularly it's happening on the side of the road. So, you know what I mean? So yeah, so should we just maybe, I'm happy to keep filling in time, but...
we might have a quick break, a bit of tea and coffee, and start, our teams are listed. Yeah, so divide into teams and start,
But thanks, guys. And at the end of today, we've got a lovely little presentation of one of my students' show reels, because we're pitching ourselves towards if you're needing to get a show reel together for your work.